Justin Vernon's back with his first project as Bon Iver in half a decade, 22 a million. What I think of it? Let's find out. So these first impression videos are not scheduled like the Wednesday videos. They're actually going to come out whenever the albums come out that I'm interested in. They'll be dropping every now and then. No schedule, but hopefully they'll be out in time for you to take a listen to what I think, and maybe it'll help you decide if you want to get the album. So I was super excited when I found out Bon Iver was releasing another album because I'm a huge fan of his previous projects and his previous albums as Bon Iver. I have a couple of them here. Bon Iver For Emma, Forever Ago, his first album, and his second album is called Bon Iver, Bon Iver. I don't have it on vinyl because these two, the first and second album, have kind of crappy pressings, and I'm hoping they'll do a remaster one day. He was also in a band called Volcano Choir. He's in a band called Gangs, which I don't have the record for, and The Shouting Matches, where he did blues rock. He has a lot of reach in the industry. He's also worked with Kanye on a bunch of his albums. The man is a chameleon, and I was really excited to see what would happen with this album. Speaking of the Bon Iver project specifically, For Emma Forever Ago, he went into the mountains and recorded this beautiful, intimate folk album that was very simplistic. His song Skinny Love was the song that propelled him into the public eye, and his second album, Bon Iver, Bon Iver, took the folk sound of the first album and made it really orchestral and big, and it wasn't quite as intimate, but it was still a beautiful, lush album. And with 22 a million, his sound changed again. I'd say for the better. 22 Over Soon is the album opener. It has pitch-shifted voices and layered vocal harmonies, and then eventually Justin Vernon's signature voice breaks through it, and it leads you into the song. This track really sets the tone for what is a familiar but unpredictably evolved sound. This voice throughout the song croons, "It may be over soon," and honestly, after this first track, I hope it's not. Something I should mention is that the tracks on this track list are all really weirdly formatted. There's spacing between the letters, and there's weird symbols. I'm not going to pronounce them properly because a lot of them are barely even words, but I'm going to try my best based on my guess. 10 Death Breaths, the next song, will then change the sound from this peaceful, kind of beautiful, angelic harmony into this darker sound. Justin Vernon's voice comes in and just soothes you into the song once again as you continue to ride down this oral river Styx and to whatever he has planned. Creeks is one of the standout tracks on the album. It has Justin harmonizing with who better than himself in various vocal tones. It's very reminiscent of Woods, which was, I think, a standout track from For Emma Forever Ago. This is a jarringly beautiful track that honestly ended too soon. I wish it wasn't one of the shorter tracks on the album. 33 God almost had a hip-hop type production. It reminded me of Yeezus at times, which is cool because he did work on that album, so the Kanye influence is definitely there. 29 Stratford Apartments is the first track on the album that's more of a traditional folk song and a throwback to his older sound. And honestly, after the opening, that kind of throws you into this crazy mix. It's a little welcomed. While his signature sound is present, I do think that it's a unique enough song that it justifies its presence on the album. 666 with a little weird symbol after it captures the aesthetic of the album perfectly while still maintaining that folk sound from Bon Iver, Bon Iver. There's this like cyber raindrop droplet in the background that can maintain through the entire song, and it's just entrancing. 21 Moonwater is an interesting song because it's simplistic and beautiful, but it often has these discordant, kind of confusing parts, especially the end, which has this really strange saxophone part that's almost difficult to listen to. It leads into 8 Circle, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album easily. I think that this song is beautiful, buttery. It's such a joy to listen to, and it's very different from the last song, which is cool. Getting close to the end now, 45 is almost like a hymn. I really like the banjo in this. I think that was the standout instrument for me. And then finally we end with 00000 million, which is a really simple song, a piano-driven song, and it's a great song to wrap up the album. It has that signature Bon Iver sound, and it's a nice little ribbon to tie what you just heard together. This album never lets you get comfortable. It's constantly changing styles and sounds, and it's constantly impressing you because of that. This is not an album that can be appreciated or fully absorbed on a first listen, but I definitely was surprised with how much I liked it after how different it was from his first 2 albums. I think that lyrically, it's something I'm going to have to dive into later because on the first listen I was so interested and confused and intrigued by all the sounds and the difference from his first 2 albums that I couldn't really pay attention to the words. Once I sit down and take all the lyrics in, I feel like the album's going to have an entirely new meaning for me. It's really difficult to give this album an honest, genuine score after one listen, but on this channel I do arbitrary scores out of 10. And as a huge Bon Iver fan, I was not disappointed in the slightest. This was an absolute pleasure to listen to, and while it was under 40 minutes, it definitely has a lot packed into it, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. This was a wonderful gift to receive from Justin Vernon. I will give this on first listen an 8.5 out of 10. This is one of the better albums of this year. Although this year has had an incredible amount of good albums. This is one of the best music years I can remember in my life. So what did you guys think of the album? Leave some comments and let me know what your favorite tracks were, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Did you like it more than his other albums, other folk albums of this era? I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give it a little like, and check out my other videos. New videos every Wednesday.